Morning, my friends. Here's a tongue twister for our brains. What came first, the chicken or the egg? Are we putting the cart before the horse? We know the Gnostics were the original Christians that had to keep everything hidden. Every time, like, Jesus and the apostles met, I could think of one movie, I think it's King David, where it's all of them though, but I'm just thinking of King David where they're all sitting around the table together and it all has to be in secret. And that's the original secret society. And they were all out to kill them because they were a bunch of Jesus Christ Charlie Kirks out there. So what does the narcissism do, especially since this is the information that will really, really rile up the ego? Really rile up. You know how people, this is a good analogy, just coming up with it. You know how people used to, because we don't get anybody new here, if we got anybody new, they would freak out. The formula is always the same. They would freak out and claim that I'm not the mystery school teacher, but they are. And they've never heard the word postmodernism before, but when they hear me say it, all of a sudden they act like they're an expert in it and I'm a fucking idiot. So, listen to this right here.
Second point. The Gnostic Gospels, the Gospel of Thomas, the Gospel of Pilate, the Gospel of Peter, the Gospel of Truth, the Gospel of Judas. Those Gospels were rejected at a fairly early date in the 2nd century because they were based on the philosophy of Gnosticism, which taught the physical is evil, the spiritual is good. Well, that comes right from Plato.
That's
the Greek.
We've learned that Gnosticism is really difficult to understand, and at face value, it's just like this face value ego thing, and it's the way that we've been taught that we will naturally view it as there's the good God and the bad God, duality. And this is where everyone gets the whole thing of materialism is bad. It's actually coming from a misunderstanding of the Gnostics, just like to say the Gnostics see the materialism is bad and the spiritualism is the only thing that matters. And we've come to find out that that's not how it works at all. That's how you would see it at face value, and it takes a long time. It's like a programming thing that we overcome. But it gets more interesting.
The physical is evil, the spiritual is good. Well, that comes right from Plato, the Greek Gnostics.
You guys have gotten over that, right? That how confusing that really is. The part in Jesus of Nazareth when the rich man comes up to Jesus Christ and Jesus Christ says, give everything away. And Jesus Christ means to give your belief system away so that you can follow God. Your belief system is keeping you from everything. And then at the same time, if you are the rich man, well, you should be showering your wealth on everyone else too, also.
The spiritual is good. Well, that comes right from Plato, the Greek Gnostics. Knowledge is key. The spirit is key. The physical is evil. And obviously, Jesus Christ contradicted that idea. And so does the Bible, because the Bible in Jesus' instance, did God create your body?
Now look.
It's a beautiful.
Now look how we have the cart before the horse. That's why I told you that speech of when Jesus Christ and the apostles got together, that was the Gnostics doing everything in hiding because they're forced to. Everyone's looking to kill them. They're forced to do everything, and those are the Gnostics. So it seems, let me play the rest of it. It seems like we already know that Gnosticism was hijacked by narcissism and turned into the modern Christian church, as the modern Christian church does all the scriptures and does everything, I mean, as good as anybody could ever do it. It's, of course, it's the people that don't understand. It's all a tangled mess. It's all a tangled mess. Thank God that the church actually does the teachings of Jesus Christ and all the real things. But look at the switcheroo. Look at the narcissist takeover.
And obviously, Jesus Christ contradicted that idea. And so does the Bible, because the Bible in Jesus' instance, did God create your body? It's a beautiful gift. Take care of it.
No, but hold on. First, Jesus Christ didn't contradict that. Jesus Christ was this identical Gnostic. And then you not understanding what Gnosticism is. Because the same exact Gnosticism that they would think it's because Gnosticism understands Yaltabaoth, which is our ego, is the one who runs the world. So that's what he's calling Gnosticism, calling physical reality bad, when they're actually one and the same. We just don't understand how they're one and the same.
Well, that comes right from Plato, the Greek Gnostics. Knowledge is key. The Spirit is key.
You know something that actually breaks these boundaries is the stock market. When you're in the stock market long enough, you'll think a certain situation is physical. You'll think everything is physical. And the stock market is psychology to the point to where there's nothing physical, and every single bit of it runs on psychology to the point to where if you're the mystery school teacher, you'll go, it seems like the mind is on the outside, and I just don't realize it. Because every time I go to think something's physically driven, something is physical in the stock market, it's mental. But it's mental like it's the outside world. It's mental like what we're calling the outside world is actually the mind. Isn't it funny that that's what happened with the stock market with me? It gave me the ability to see that, wait a minute, the outside world's the mind, just as the inside world is.
Knowledge is key. The Spirit is key. The physical is evil. And obviously, Jesus Christ contradicted that idea. And so does the Bible, because the Bible in Jesus' instance, did God create...
No, Jesus Christ didn't contradict that thing. He said the same thing when he told the rich man to give up all of his stuff. You'd see, if you were trying to comprehend that through what you're calling Gnosticism, you would have said Jesus Christ was telling that man that physical reality is bad, give away all of your stuff, and everything is spiritual. But that's not what that was, and that was Gnosticism. That it's all Gnosticism. The fact of the way that remember how Gnosticism is a verb? It's the act of learning. It's the act of how you learn the teachings of Jesus Christ, that we don't know what they mean. They're a riddle. It takes us our whole life to figure the process of taking our whole life to figure out the teachings of Jesus Christ is the gnosis, is the Gnosticism.
So does the Bible, because the Bible in Jesus' instance, did God create your body? It's a beautiful gift, take care of it. And he also created your soul, your spirit, your personality, take care of it.
And also, listen, I didn't even realize this. He's talking about the God of the Old Testament, and as though Jesus Christ is compatible. He thinks that Yaltabaoth. It gets more tangled, guys. He's here to say why the Gnostic Scriptures weren't included into the Bible, while he speaks of the God of the Old Testament somehow being, I can't even think of the word, compatible. Somehow being compatible with the New Testament and the Old Testament. Let's listen to this again. You see why I wanted to show you this? What a mind fuck. What a tangled web this one is.
Second point. The Gnostic Gospels, the Gospel of Thomas, the Gospel of Pilate, the Gospel of Peter, the Gospel of Truth, the Gospel of Judas. Those Gospels were rejected at a fairly early date in the 2nd century because they were based on the philosophy of Gnosticism.
Oh man, I got to cough a lot this morning. Look at how funny it is that the reason we're told here that they weren't included into the Bible is because basically they didn't understand them, and those were the original Christianity. That was the Christianity right there. And see, I almost need that other demiurge video that I've linked to you over the years where the dude actually explains it. And when I upload you that video, you probably don't understand how profound it is. That every single person that approaches Gnosticism, and there's been Gnostic people and sects and all that kind of stuff that totally have this wrong and believe that it's and it's you too. Before you came to the mystery school, you thought that this religion shit was that you're supposed to deny physical objects, physical things. It takes me years to get, it's so ingrained in you to think that that's what God is. And it's foolishness. It's absolute foolishness. You know, there's still some of that in you that I have to teach you past. Maybe this is one of these times where I'm teaching you past it.
The Gnostic Gospels, the Gospel of Thomas, the Gospel of Pilate, the Gospel of Peter.
But look, we're going to be told that they weren't included because they didn't understand them. It's not about a good God and a bad God. The demiurge dissolves. When we look for the demiurge, we can't find it because it was every single human being. That's the God of the Old Testament right there.
The Gospel of Truth, the Gospel of Judas. Those Gospels were rejected at a fairly early date in the 2nd century because they were based on the philosophy of Gnosticism, which
So the narcissist rejected the original Christians to rewrite everything or categorize everything in a way that the narcissist felt fit to do with a lack of understanding. And then you're rearranging. You don't even know what you're rearranging because you got rid of the original.
The physical is evil, the spiritual is good. Well, that comes right from Plato, the Greek Gnostics. Knowledge is key, the spirit is key, the physical is evil. And obviously, Jesus Christ contradicted that idea.
You know what was a big one? And I wish I got to mention it earlier. Brent Waters, which I've recently talked to, And Brent Waters, he's a successful guy. And he's been like a Christian. I can't even think. I just woke up. But Brent Waters would be one that would struggle with this, just like everybody else. About, am I supposed to be successful? Am I offending God? Am I supposed to be a weak, meek, humble piece of shit that's not really meek, weak, and humble? And over like the last 2 years, there's like specific videos I make all the time, almost daily, to go, no, enjoy your shit. Go make money. Be successful. Enjoy it. And I hope that Brett Waters, he bought a new house and is doing really well. And I hope that he's enjoying every single bit of it, realizing that that kind of shit had nothing to do. It had nothing to... Did you give up your belief system? Did you... the greatest thing... See, do you know what... If you wanted to, like, please God, if you thought that, all my materialism's hurting God's feelings, I'm not being good. No, it's not about that. You know what it's about? It's about taking your belief system, watching the movie Jesus of Nazareth, and challenging Jesus Christ with your belief system to find out that you were wrong about everything. Everything that you thought, everything I thought, everything everyone else thought. Then you start living a life in the teachings of Jesus Christ, because to solve these, you figure out that you're wrong on every single thing. But it's not like you're just supplied with the right answer. The right answer is extremely difficult and takes a life mission of learn. That was the Gnosticism. That's what the whole thing is that it takes a lifetime to learn the teachings of Jesus Christ. Replace how you used to think, that how the world used to program you. How without the teachings of Jesus Christ, you had repeating the CNN narrative or doing the opposite in duality. It didn't matter, you were doing duality. The moment that it changed is when you had the teachings of Jesus Christ replace all of that.
And so does the Bible, because the Bible in Jesus' instance, did God create your body? It's a beautiful gift, take care of it. And he also created your soul, your spirit, your personality, take care of it. Second point.
What God are you talking about though, bro? You see, at the end you said God made our body, but that's the God of the Old Testament.
The Gnostic Gospels, the Gospel of Thomas, the Gospel of Pilate, the Gospel of Peter, the Gospel of Truth, the Gospel of Judas. Those Gospels were rejected at a fairly early date in the 2nd century because they were based on the philosophy of Gnosticism, which taught the physical is evil, the spiritual is good. Well, that comes right from Plato, the Greek Gnostics. Knowledge is key, the spirit is key, the physical is evil. And obviously, Jesus Christ contradicted that idea. And so does the Bible, because the Bible in Jesus' instance did God.
No, Jesus was 100% in line with it, because Jesus started the original Gnostics. Jesus taught all the original Gnostics this shit.
Create your body. It's a beautiful gift. Take care of it.
You know what's not in line? When you called the God of the Old Testament God.
Your soul, your spirit, your personality. Take care of it. Second point.
So, much love to everyone. I can't believe we did this for 20 minutes. This little YouTube short. I'm not even close to even beginning. Like, I could talk on this for the next 4 or 5 hours. This is packed. This is fucking packed with information. So much love to everyone. I hope you have the greatest day.